connect. Okay. Let's see. This thing was cutting up. Larry Project Second Chance. If everybody can please let me know you're here and share this, I greatly appreciate it. Crystal Taylor, thank you for joining. Kenyatta Dean Bacon, thank you, sister. Peace. Keith Sykes, thank you for joining. Mina, thank you, sister. Nice to see you back. I get a little more comfortable, I guess. Jacqueline Caldwell, man, miss you, sister. That's what I'm talking about. I got a team over here. That's what I'm talking about. Want to make sure I give a shout out to everybody. Keisha Muhammad, thank you for joining. If everybody can share this, I greatly appreciate it. Courtney Wicker, thank you for joining. Shindell Cameron, peace, sister. Jamie Sepulveda, peace, sister. Courtney Wicker, how you doing? That's right, Keith Sykes. That's right, brother. Everything's going well, brother. Got good news. You know, as far as good news is that we still alive. And definitely want to talk about, you know, let's see. Matthew's going to put a post up here that says, download the Project Second Chance app, and I'm going to pin that up. Herbert Venable, how you doing? Peace. It's our time now. God is with us. You better believe it. God is with us. We got a living God with us. Listen, and I can feel it. And some of you who may not feel it, I'm telling you, not tuned in with the universe. God is with us. He's with us. And therefore, he's not just with us for us to be with one another. He's with us to be there for our children. This is the time right now that we can see that God is making this a perfect storm for all of us to understand that we have to come together and do something more than applaud people who are just talking. We're going to have to get involved. The front line does not mean protest, and we realize that that's for another group of people. But somebody's going to have to do this work and get on ground level and say, let's do this. Let's make history. All right. And the whole world right now is looking to us, and we don't see it because we on the inside looking out. But those on the outside see that it's our time, and they willing to help us in our time because they know that our success is going to be the entire world's success. That's right. People know that our success, black people in America, brown people in America, but I'm specifically speaking to first black people. It is our time, and God is with us, and he's telling us that you're free. The whole world sees America for what America really is. And the whole world sees that we are living in the midst of this beast. And we're still strong, and we still have a good spirit, and we still have love in our hearts for others. It's just that somebody needs to come and teach us to have love for ourselves. And those are the times that we're living in right now. All you got to do is love your brother like you love yourself, and God will start elevating you and take the world off of your shoulders. I'm telling you. So we are chosen people, man. I'm fired up all the time, but I'm even more fired up now because we're actually living in the time to where the separation doesn't mean you're just going to separate that all black people going to get on this side and all white people. No, it's separation of the mentalities. It's the separation of those who are envious, whether you're black, brown, yellow, you know what I'm saying, or white. Red, it doesn't matter. There's a separation taking places of mentalities from the wicked, from those who want to do good. And I had an awesome conversation with the brother from India today. Listen, conversations are different now when you're talking to people overseas who are living in other countries. They're different now than it was when, you know, when many of them were voting, their people over here were voting Republican. You understand? Because they peeped the game of the Democrats a long time ago. But now, Satan done snuck all the way up. All right? And they were supporting Republicans. You know, a lot of people that come from other parts of the country, they vote, their families over here that live over here that are citizens, or a lot of those, they vote Democrat. Because the Democratic way, you know, that way allows them to suck more money from black people. But guess what? Satan is rearing his ugly head, and he's so frustrated now that he's saying to everybody, if I can't have it, nobody can have it. So we know now that the top of the line races, all right, right now, that your president has to appeal to the bottom of the barrel people, the ones that were defeated in the Civil War, not for the right reason. They didn't defeat them and beat the South for the right reason. It was only to use black people more. That's the whole reason why the South was defeated. But guess what? Through the Republican Party now, all right, the South, all right, the Democrats, I'm talking about the Democrats of today. I'm not talking about the Democrats of the past, you know, because it can get confusing, and they do this a lot. They change their history like this and switch up. The Democrats may have been the most racist 100, 200 years ago, right? And then they switch up so you can't even understand history, because in all reality, the Democrats and Republicans are the same thing. They in this together. So now you thinking the Democrats are your friends, and you're thinking that the Republicans are your enemy. But really what's happened, they just switch seats and trick you and fool you with their psychology. They've only changed psychologies. That's the only thing. And we fallen for these psychologies. But guess what? The world is watching and they witnessing this. And they thought, you know, a lot of people thought voting Republican was going to be the way 20, 30 years ago, a more conservative view, you know, because in all reality, black people in their nature are more conservative. Black people, the things you see black people giving 2 thumbs up or peace signs to today, we did not give those peace signs and those thumbs up to 20 and 30 years ago. If anybody remember, listen, what in my time, you would have never thought that black people would have been okay with taking prayer out of the schools. I just want you to think about black people naturally are godly people. Black people gravitate towards a higher being or a higher power in America because in our nature, we always look to a higher being or a higher power. We always looked up to our elders. Now today, children don't even respect their parents. And they're only 2 and 3 years old and they have no love hardly and no respect for the parents because nobody has drawn that out of them. It's in the children, but nobody, this world doesn't draw that out of children. It draws hate out of children. It draws dissatisfaction out of our children. It draws them to the point to where they want to bully other children. That's the world that our children are living in. That's the world that we're living in. And we're living in a different time now. And you can see it. How do you go from a black president to the most racist up front? Now, I ain't saying now behind the scenes, all right? Donald Trump is only, listen, he's only right now, he's a distraction, all right? He is truly a distraction, but he is a sign. If we're traveling to New York from Fayetteville, all right, we're not going to let the sign that says you're now entering to Virginia stop us. And then we stop at the sign and just keep looking at the sign and let it distract us, all right? We got a destination. We got a goal. All right. Don't let Donald Trump stop you. Donald Trump is only a sign for their world falling, but he's also a sign for God's people's world coming up. And if you get distracted by the one that's fallen and cry about the one that's fallen, you'll miss the one that's coming up. So many of us are stressed out. Many of us today are crying, or many of us are going through things because we allow somebody to distract us. Many of us say we don't watch TV. I don't even care about that TV. I don't care. But we get distracted, all right, by somebody that's living in the house with us. Or we get distracted, all right, by something that's calling us and saying, you owe $150 and it's going to ruin your credit. We get distracted by the phone call that somebody says, all right, that you're getting ready to give or have to give up your car. They're always constantly distracting us. So we can't think straight. So anytime we see a sign that something is entering into our life, we get distracted because we have not been trained in our lives to keep moving. I mean, I couldn't imagine driving down to Atlanta a few weeks ago, and as soon as we entered into South Carolina and saw south of the border, all right, pulling over and staying there for about 3 or 4 days just looking at the place. That's a distraction. We had a goal, we had an agenda, so we got there. We pulled over to get gas. When that little light pops up and it rings, doo, 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 and it lets you know that your gas is going low, that is intentionally distracting you so that you may then pull over and slow down and get some more gas. But it's a distraction, and it slows you down from getting to the destination. It's the same thing. If you're watching CNN and Fox News all day, you are being distracted. There's no way you can watch those shows all the time and be a producer, because the shows are designed to make you sit there and just watch it and watch it and say, can you believe this? And you're just sitting there and they're giving you the news real slow. And then they'll tell you we haven't let any names be announced. So now you're sitting there all day long waiting on a name to find out who is it? Who were they? It's all designed to be a distraction. So we cannot allow our lives to be distracted, because surely, all right, when you're doing nothing, if we've been distracted hundreds of years ago and 50 years ago, then surely when God chooses you to do something and he's backing you, surely Satan will be right there beside you, trying to distract you from the goal, in the name of a family member, in the name of a good friend that you had all your life, and you can't believe that this person is now in opposition to you. You know why? Because you've always been down or depressed most of your life. And now that you're coming out and you're waking up, they may not want to wake up with you. They may not want to do the things that they think when you're saying, hey, I want to get down with opening a school. And they're saying, how you going to open a school? You ain't going to be a part of opening no school. And they'll distract you because they don't believe, because they're not wide awake to the times. So they're only distracting you because they want you to stop with them and do what they're doing. And that's nothing. They may be good. They may be a good friend. But guess what? They can also be good for nothing. So this is Larry Rivera with Project Second Chance. Shout out and peace to all my people out there. I heard my brother Urema Karama got taken off Facebook. It don't matter. You can go to his YouTube page. You can go to his www.uremakarama.com page. You can go to his Instagram page, and you can still keep up with our brother. We're not going to let that distract us. We're going to keep moving. Because if it's only a 3-day, then guess what? When he come back 3 days, we get back rocking. So just want to say to everybody that's out there right now, shout outs to everybody who's on board, everybody who's committing. I had a wonderful meeting today with someone who flew over from India, who lives in India, who is a Facebook friend, who said to me today, Larry, you are a household name amongst my family. Yes, he said, my whole family sits and watch you. We like what you're doing over here. I just want you to think about it. That's in India. To the point to where we're looking at land today. He just wants to see the vision. Am I going to depend on that? No, that's not what I'm saying. Because we're going to raise the money on Facebook. We're going to make history. All right. And we're going to ask who wants to be down with making history. It doesn't matter if you're sick. If you have a terminal illness, it doesn't matter. You can contribute now. And you can go out like Fidel Castro went. They're mourning this brother for 9 days. I want you to think about all this media over here that we're listening to right now that's talking, we don't mourn our presidents for no 9 days. I just want you to think. I want you to, do you see anybody over there riding right now talking about we not going to mourn him? All right. Do you see? Listen, they mourning him, and don't let anybody tell you that what this media is saying is the truth. It's a waste of time. Don't even read that foolish. Read positive messages about Fidel Castro. And let me tell you how you can figure out pretty much if he's your brother or not. white America don't like him. That right there is one, all right, should let you know that he's your brother, all right? Whenever white America and bougie Negroes, all right, that just go along and get along. You remember what they say, all these people that keep going through school and they're functionally illiterate, they still exist. All right. All right. They didn't just poof off the earth after high school. They went into society. All right. And they're in society and they live in society. All right. And guess what? They argue. All right. And they have dumb arguments. All right. And they ain't too brilliant. They watch nothing but the news because they don't read for themselves because they functionally illiterate. I'm not knocking my people now. I'm talking about the ones who got suits and ties on. I ain't talking about the people who got common sense in the street. That's not what I'm talking about. The people who got suits and ties on and they walking around and they think they have arrived. But guess what? Now people from other countries are starting to realize that, guess what? Excuse my language. All right. But people in other countries are starting to realize that Donald Trump is coming into presidency. And guess what? Not only are black people going to be looked upon as niggas, now they realize that they niggas. All right. Just keeping it real. Excuse my language, but your children need to hear that too. All right. People around the world are realizing that the new word called immigrants, they put illegal in there, but it refers to anybody that's in America. All right. That's from another country that, guess what? They're realizing. And the whole world is realizing and seeing that America's in a state of mind that even young white women voted for Donald Trump. I want you to think about it. That's how much hate is in their heart to see a black man rule the country. Not in true rulership. We know that. But you know, symbolic, you know, signs and symbols are for the conscious minds. A brother Urema was saying, my more science temple brothers would say out of the circle 7. All right. And I like to say to everybody that he is a sign, and the world sees the sign and they see, oh my goodness, America is truly getting ready to fall. And when it falls, they know history better than we do because we are on a foreign land and we don't know our history. All right. And we don't know our enemy. And so everybody else knows right now. Everybody knows it is the black man and the black woman's time in America. God has chosen them because the whole world knows that we now have a Nimrod as the head of our country. That is a sign. We have a Pharaoh, a real Pharaoh, as a sign of our country. So now the world is looking, where are the chosen people? Well, guess what? Fidel Castro already knew. Muammar Gaddafi already knew. Now it's our time to know. Fidel Castro said, man, I'm checking out of this spot right here. Fidel Castro said they didn't elected this man. I can go now. I can go in peace because everything I said was coming to America just came through the symbolic selection and election of Donald Trump. I just want you to think about it. So what are we going to do? Are we going to keep talking across Facebook, or are we going to actually erect something? We're going to show our work and we're going to put our unity together and we're going to get behind something, and then everybody can go who's contributed through Facebook can walk into this building and you can see your brick with your name on it, with your child's name on it. You can have a hallway named after your business. You can have a room. All right. Because the next school we open, Bright Young Minds Academy, will be a school. The next one will not just be a child care, and then where homeschool students are coming, we'll have an after school and before school program. We're going to have it to where the children that come out of Bright Young Minds Academy child care will have a school to go into. And it's going to be a business school and a STEM school. I just want you to think about it now. We're going to teach these little children at the ages of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 business. And they will be living business. They will be doing business. They will not be just thinking about and reading business. We are going to be a business. And guess what? We're going to make history right here through Facebook. They cut me off. It don't matter. We're working on YouTube right now. We're working on an Instagram page, and we got a website. That's why we put the app out there. So we can function through the app. So We just want to let everybody know, I thank everybody for signing on. Everybody's going to have a brick. I want to thank Miss Jacqueline Caldwell. I want to thank Aaron Johnson. I want to thank Ursula Yisrael. I want to thank Daniel. I want to thank Susan Anderson. I want to thank all of you who've donated, because I went and checked. I haven't been checking my PayPal like that because, I don't let it be a distraction, because you can be watching it all the time. But, people say, Larry, don't tell everybody everything. And I understand why people say, don't tell everybody your plans. Let me explain something to everybody. I ain't planned this. Everything that's happening right now is not something I planned. Because if it would have been my plan, all right, I'd be a multi-billionaire by now. So it's not my plan. So everything I'm sharing, I'm realizing it's not my plan. It's God's plan. So I'm not sharing my plan, and I'm only sharing what I think. And let's just say it is my plan. All right. God has a bigger plan for every one of us. So I just want to make that very clear. When we open our school in 36 months, we want to have our own school, not no little rinky dink school. All right. We want to start it off with start off with a wing. And I know people tell me, I know, Larry, you're telling people your plan, but listen, the enemy knows anyway. I'd rather y'all know the plan. So if they come and they try to come between our plan, you be briefed on the plan. And you can support it because you're going to be supporters and you're going to back it. So, God has a plan for us. Jacqueline said, what God has for us is for us. Nobody can stop it. The only thing that can stop it is you. So if you got a terminal illness, if you're going through a divorce or you have a divorce, if you're not happy with where your children are at today, if you're not happy with where you at today, if you're not happy with your life, if you have some type of, any kind of health problems, listen, you don't have to check out of this planet Earth. All right, unhappy. You can contribute and be a part of something and write yourself into history and watch all these people who are working out every day and doing everything they're supposed to do, but they wicked as hell. And they're not worth anything. They are totally opposition to our children's future. So I say to everybody, don't let nothing get you down. Don't let nothing distract you. All right. Don't think that you personally have to be somewhere in your life to be successful. When you are a part of something that is successful, this is why white people take so much pride into America, because America is ruling the world. But black people can't identify with that because we're not treated like it's ours. All right. But white people feel like this is ours. So no matter how bad they're doing, they still happy because they ruling the world. But a lot of white people are not happy right now, because they too see that this world is already dwelling in a hell and it's fallen. And two things can't occupy the same space at the same time. So if God's world is going to really come in like many of us believe, all right, that means that one world has to go out. Then why are we crying when we see one world going out and God's world coming in? I just want you to think about it. What are we crying about? All right, you should be clapping and happy that the world that you went to church and you went to the mosque and you went to the temple, you went to the synagogue, that you went to all these places of worship. You should be glad that this world is heading straight out. I just want you to think about it. You should be glad, because that means that, guess what? That means we need to occupy the space. For those of you who believe it's the hereafter, for those of you who believe it's the kingdom of God, all right, then you should be happy to take that place. When God starts removing your enemy, you have to move in with your stuff and build your kingdom. And that's the time we in. We can't be afraid. Listen, don't try to compare this to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King in a sense, because there's a lot of people that's awake now. There's a bunch of Malcolm X's now. There's a bunch of Farrakhan's now. There's a bunch of Martin Luther King. I'm not talking about the Malcolm X of when he passed when he was 39. I'm talking about where he would be mentally today. We are an example of them. They didn't build enough schools, all right? But that spirit, all right, who Malcolm would be today is in me. That spirit that was in Assata Shakur when she was here over in America is in me. That spirit that is in Fidel Castro is in me. That spirit that is in Farrakhan and the same spirit that's in many of you is in me. It's in us. We got to exercise this wisdom. Stop being afraid, and we're going to have to unify. And listen, We gonna do it. Period. Period. We gonna do it. Dr. Umar Johnson, he said raise $500,000. I just want you to think about that. $500,000. All right? And I'm glad he did it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with it. But let me say to everybody out there, we could do the same thing. And $500,000 get the job done. That's a good start. I'm not looking for these wicked people to give us anything. We got to give it to one another. We got to give it to ourselves. We owe our children. It don't have to be the children in your city. If ain't nobody doing it in your particular city, then help a brother that's doing it in another city, and then we could duplicate it in another city. But we got to be successful somewhere first. So I thank each and every one of you that's on my Facebook page. You know, shout out to all of you that's moving in the spirit. All right. God is with us. He's with us. All right. If Satan is willing to put Donald Trump in that position, then surely, all right, God has not gone anywhere. Their world is falling down. And so many people are attached to it and depending on it, thinking, well, how am I going to get that check from the government 6 months? Don't worry about that. That's a distraction. All right. We just need to do for ourselves. So again, this is Larry with Project Second Chance. I just want to thank everybody for signing on. Courtney Wicker, thank you. Sister Don Kofi, thank you. Matthew Wilson, thank you, brother, for posting that up for me. Ms. Jacqueline Caldwell, Ursula Yisro, I thank you earlier, sister. Thank you for your kind donation. Ms. Jacqueline Caldwell, Kalisha, I want to thank you. I want to thank Keith Sykes. I want to thank all of you out there. Joseph Frazier, Mike Anderson. Man, listen. My partner Mike Anderson said he just landed a role for a major TV station. Man, he got like 300 likes in like 1 hour. I was like, good gracious. I now said we trying to open up a school. We get like 60, 70 likes. I want you to think about it. What's up, Mike, with that? All right. You land a role on TV, brother. A TV show. You get like 300 some likes, brother. I'm saying, I say we're going to build some schools. Black people, only about 60 of them say, you know. But you land the role, brother. People cheering, going crazy because they think you're going to send some of that money. But you're going to be donating to Project Second Chance. That's what you could do, brother. I love Mike Anderson. I'm very proud of you, brother. You're doing your thing. You know, and I know your success is my success, brother. Christian Irvin, how you doing? Kenyatta, thank you. Lost you for a second. So did everybody else lose me too? Black and proud to be. You better listen. This is a great time to be black people in America. I had a talk with a brother from India. He shared the post where I put him on the page, and he told me I talked about family, and every time he comes, I'm always discussing family and about different things. But he seemed a little bit more open today, and he shared. I asked this question that I ask often, but I got a little different answer this time. And this is a time to ask people who are from other countries. No, I'm talking about people who really live in other countries, not Americanized people. Not just because they say I'm from India, they can still have a white supremacist state of mind, all right? Chinese people got a white supremacist state of mind too. It ain't only black people and it ain't only white people, all right? Koreans, Vietnamese people, you know, I mean, Jamaican people, Haitian people, I mean, people from all over the world got a white supremacist state of mind because scripture says Satan deceived the whole world. And in order for you to deceive the whole world, man, you got to be a wicked liar. You got to be a real good liar. A good liar. And you got to kill those people off that are willing to expose the lie. So you got to be a real wicked person. So he shared with me, and I asked him a question about family. And I said, Anil, let me ask you a question. Your daughters, do you still arrange marriage, or you know your daughter's only a certain age? And are you going to arrange a marriage for her? And he said, yes. Oh, yeah, we still do that. I said, okay. All right. I said, okay, then when she goes to college, how does that work? He said, well, at 16, all right, she's still a baby at 16. This is what he tells me now. She's still a baby. So she goes out to pre-college at 16. If she doesn't get married until she's 30, she don't move out the house until she's 30. I just want you to think about it. He said, I never knew that people move out of their parents' homes, move out of family. I never knew that people did that. Why would you move out of your family, Larry? It's home. This is what he tells me. If you're not married, you stay with family. He says, what's greater than being with family? I just want you to think about this, black people. This is for us. We know that our family structures suffer the most. We have more single homes than any other group of people in America. Shouldn't we be looking to get advice from somebody else? I want you to think about it. Shouldn't we be looking to other cultures for ways to raise our standard? But it seems like the moment you start raising your standard, and to black women, all right, y'all need to come up out of that white feminist movement. Don't even entertain. Yes, you can have your own movement, but don't be moved by them. That's all I'm saying. Black women, have your own movement, all right, but don't be moved by black women that's moved by black women that's ultimately moved by angry white women that are angry at wicked white men. I'm just telling you like it is, because we're going to always get the short end of the stick. And as I said on the radio station, that United States was top country in the world with graduation rate. We were top in the world with science, they say. We were top in the world, they say. In English, in mathematics, we were top, they say. But guess what? 30 years later, we got technology. We can do our own research and check. We're ranked number 30 in the world. And no, 35. We're ranked number 36, but 35 more countries. Let me get my numbers right, because y'all getting on me. 35 more countries in the world are surpassing America. And from what I hear, the gap is huge in education. I just want you to think about it. And black people are performing, black children are performing the worst. Think about it. That alone should let you know we got a real problem. I just want you to think about it. And we need to be humble and admit that we have a problem. And guess what this brother from India told me today? Because he saw the video too, the video. He said, Larry, do you know what that means for you 20 years from now? And I said, yes, sir. He said, that's real bad for you. No, did you hear me? All right. If we were ranked first, if we were ranked first 30 years ago, or second or third, and now we're ranked 36, and we are in the condition we are today from what happened 30 years ago. Think about it. What are our children going to be as a condition? It don't matter how good of a doctor they are, how good of a scientist they are. It don't matter how good of a football or basketball player or whatever they are. They're going to be up under white supremacists if we don't do something for ourselves. I just want you to think about it. And we're going to leave our children in this kind of condition? Where is our children going to be if our education was 35 times better? 30 years ago. What are we doing for our children today? All right? What are we doing? We're setting them up from failure unless we begin to start making history. And that's what we're going to do with Project Second Chance. We don't see no failure, and we're not going to make no excuse for any failures. We're going to keep moving. We're going to see the goal. We're not going to let things distract us. All right? Sometimes you got to go off the road and run something over sometimes, you know. Sometimes you fall asleep and you may hit one of those signs. See Matthew over there laughing. What you laughing about, Matthew? See Matthew over there. He's sitting there laughing. But this is my point, everybody, is this. A lot of us are stressing about things we don't need to be stressing about. We just need to be working and contributing to the right movements. All right. We're finding out that a lot of people have been deceiving us. And guess what? All right. a lot of you are going to find out that a lot of the people that are out here portraying themselves as your leaders are propped up by your enemy. And when you do, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to let it get you down and you fall? I mean, listen, what good is it for us to build these buildings of worship? If our buildings of worship are bigger than our buildings for schools, I mean, do you really think God approves of that? I just want you to think, do you really think God approves of us building places for us to go worship him and then go out and don't work for him? I'm just saying, for those who believe, I just want you to open your minds. All right. All right. Just going out there in the community and giving away turkeys is not enough. Giving away book bags. We give away book bags. It's not enough. All right. It's not enough. We have to do more. We have to do more than go in places of worship and pray. Our places of worship, we have more places to go and pray than we do for our schools our children to have to go to learn. That is sad. Let me say this again. We have more places for us to go and pray. And black people are in control of more places for us to go pray and practice rituals, which the rituals only a practice and a sign of where we're supposed to go and where we're supposed to be. All right. We have more places of worship than we do these are places for our children than we do for our children. All right. To go and learn. This is why scripture says, or when you go into, my people suffer from the lack of knowledge. It didn't say my people suffer from the lack of having a place to pray. I'm just saying, all right? I just want you to think about it. We need to build schools for our children. And they have to be productive schools. If they're not producing, all right, the parents should have a say-so. We have to compete with education more than when we're competing with sports. Period. All right? Listen, I don't write all this down. It's in my heart. And if you're driving the bus every day and washing the clothes every day, you're going to be passionate. All right. If you're taking a bunch of diapers out to the dumpster and the dumpster smell like a bunch of baby poop. All right. And it wake you wide open when you open it up, you're going to be passionate. All right. When you see these little children coming in at 3 and 4 years old, medicated, and then you're able to take these children and parents take them off the medication, they're performing better without these little people in their faces constantly. Really what they're doing is studying them like we're chimpanzees. Then you realize that, man, we got to do this at a more rapid rate. We are failing our children. And there's a lot of people who have sold out so far into this educational system and all the other systems that they are benefiting, and all they're thinking about is, what does that mean? Am I going to lose my house? What does that mean? That I'm not going to be able to travel? Does that mean I'm not going to be richer than everybody else? Does that mean that my child that I'm paying school for, all right, is going to have more competition? Yes. That's very likely. But we all should be willing to make a sacrifice. All black people got to do is stop shopping and spending all their money on Black Fridays and all these holidays. If black people said, collectively, not all of us, many of us are not going to do it. All right. Because they sold out already into a system that they truly believed in for 30 and 40 years, and they can't muster the strength within their heart to break away from it. That's a reality. But those of us who are dissatisfied, those of us who are 100% dissatisfied, we then bring about a 100% change. But until you are 100% dissatisfied, don't let that be on your deathbed, on your last breath. And you realize that you made the wrong decision. Be the one that's saying, I'm ready to go rest. If you take my life, all right, I already said and set in motion, along with other people, the truth. I'm working with the universe, not against the universe. I'm speaking for all of us. And that's the mindset we have to be in. We have to be inspired by somebody. We have to be guided by somebody. All right. And not somebody that you're constantly, all right, going to, who's only killing your spirit even more, or just furthering you along and just pulling you further along to take more money out of your pocket, but show you nothing but a nice big brick building. And you're not doing anything in it. Right now, if black people stop right now from shopping on all these holidays, we could build schools overnight. Now, so I'm not the one who believes that black people can't come together. Listen, we've already, in this group, we already together. We just got high standards, all right? There is no disrespecting one another and all. We don't do that, all right? We treat one another like dignified human beings. We don't treat somebody because they have a certain job or a certain position in their life worse than we treat anybody else in this organization. We don't tolerate that. All right. We treat people with respect and we listen to other people's ideas. And that's why we moving forward. All right. Now, we know there's going to be some devils here and there, but we're going to be working. If you ain't working or you're not contributing, then what you got a voice for? Period. Be quiet and just ride along. That's just how it's supposed to be. All right. Those who are willing to put the work and those who are willing to contribute, that's who you want to see. All right. Who's willing to do something. Those who sharing the post, by the way, please share this post. All right. That's one way you help, by letting people know. People you know who may have finance and say, hey, you want to get on board with this. We're not going to rob the people. We're not going to steal the people. I'm talking about it. We haven't even started it yet, but we're getting ready to. It's coming. It's coming. We're going to go buy the land and we're going to buy a nice plot of land, not no half acre. All right. We're going to buy 5 acres or more first. And we're going to start our school and we're going to have our studios and we're going to have our businesses taking place probably right there on the land. Think about it. We're going to have a school store. All right. People said we could not do this. Look where we at right now. People told me, you know what I'm saying, because I was a felon, told me what I was not going to be able to do. But I want to give a shout out to my sister, Miss Nita Page. She's probably not watching this. All right. But I want to give a shout out to Miss Nita Page, formerly known as Nita Brown, who, when I first got out of prison, said, brother, I'll hire you right now. And I refused to sign or do an application. She said, brother, I'll hire you. This is true story. She was a principal at a middle school, and I just didn't want to put any heat on her. And I said, no, she gave me an application. She went online and said, brother, you fill this application. I'll fight to get you in my school as a teacher. And I said, sister, I don't even want you to have that kind of pressure or heat on you. And that was about 14 years ago. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it. All right. She told me I can do it. So I want to give a shout out to my sister who is now in Texas. All right. We don't have to agree or have the same ideologies or anything. I still love my sister. All right. All right. Even though she ain't here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, Spring Lake with all her brilliance. So I still love you, sister. You left, you know what I'm saying? And you went over to Texas, but you blessing them. And I heard she's doing a phenomenal job. Her name is Nita Page. Awesome sister. The first person to allow me to speak to a school was a black woman. And it's always a black woman like Dr. Shanessa Fenner, who's unafraid to call me into the schools and allow me to speak to the children, because they see that after I speak to these children, they get life into them. They get excited. They get challenged. We have to support more sisters and brothers who have an effective message of inspiration for our children. So as I was talking to the brother from India, he was telling me that, Larry, y'all move out of the house too soon. If you're 40 years old and you're not married, you're still staying with your parents because somebody's going to have to take care of your parents. What does it look like putting your parents in a rest home or home assisted living when they stay with you? He said, Larry, and we don't even entertain in marriage 25 or any of that until you're about 24, 25. That's when we start talking about marriage and boyfriends, girlfriends. We don't do all that socializing early. Yes, we arranged the marriage. And he told me this, which was so powerful. And I'm going to research it. I haven't had time to research it. But if you have time to research it, check it out. Check it out. He said, now India is a few hours. Well, not a few hours. I think it's almost like a day ahead of us. Did y'all know that? All right. Yeah, America's not in front of the days, but India is ahead of us. And he said that the leader over there, and I'm going to research it, do more homework. Do y'all know that he gave the people 4 hours in India to go turn in all their money into the bank? I want you to think about it. Go research it. And then after that 4-hour period, all right, they were giving out a new currency. And anybody who comes after a certain amount of time to turn in that money, it will be taxed 40% to cut out all the illegal, all the crooks in the country. They did this few hours before Donald Trump was elected. What did they know? I just want you to think. What did that leader know in India? He's changing the entire currency. And he came up live on TV. He said on all media, he came up live. And he said, my goodness, he told the people, you got 4 hours to go get your, it's certain currencies that he told them they have to turn those particular currencies in. Yes. And now they came out with a totally different currency, didn't let the people know or nothing. And 15% of that money is taxed immediately if you don't put it in. So anybody who's hiding the money, or any crooks out there that's been taking money, or you know all these wars where they robbing people of the money, he told the people, all right, and this is the same man that America refused to give a visa. I don't know how many years ago, but I know it was a lot of years ago. They refused this man a visa, but now he was elected, I think, in 2014. What did they know about Donald Trump coming into office? And even if it was Hillary Clinton, for them to change the entire currency the day of the 8th, November 8th in India, they changed the entire currency overnight. Think about it. And then after that, after a certain period of time, I don't know all the figures. I'm just telling you the way he told me, because, you know, people from other countries may think you understand it the way they do. But I'm just sharing it the way he shared it with me. Go do your homework. All right. He changed over the money and taxing 15% off top. The other 25% that I said was 40. They're holding that money for like 3 or 4 years. And guess what? I got to take, this is one of those Yarima Karamas. Do I got a coffee cup around here anywhere? I don't. Because this is one to sip coffee up. They're redistributing the pain. Think about it. They didn't say it like that, but guess what? They're taking that 25% and they're investing in the poor. Think about it. And you can't touch that 25% of money. All right? You can't touch that money because they're using it as an investment for the poor. And you can touch it after 3 or 4 years. And senior citizens, they're getting 9% on every dollar. I'm saying dollar, but it's a different currency over there. I want you to think about it. The world right now, I just want you to think, black people in America. This is my little bitty message to all my friends and family out there. Black people in America. All right? The world is shifting on its axis. While we sit here still going to football and basketball games, partying and hanging out, and don't see what's getting ready to happen with our children's future. If you're not on the head of the curve this time, it's your fault, because you know your enemy and you know what's going on. It's right in your face, but you don't want to accept it. I mean, you know, the story of Noah's Ark. You don't have to believe that it really happened the way it happened. But I mean, if you don't get on this boat, you know what I'm saying? If you don't get on this ark, all right, and you don't see what's going on, that's your fault. Black people, you should already know what's going on. The world is shifting. And guess what? They want to do business with black people. One thing I want to say about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad at this particular moment that was so brilliant to me. He said America will not fall because of something that happens outside of America. He said, no, if you study scripture, God always wants the credit for himself. My goodness. And he said, that is so powerful. He said, it won't be no other country that's going to bring down America. America is going to fall within, and that's what you're seeing right now. And if the world knows the same thing, because black people are too busy partying and like hogs, picking up all the slop on the media that they can possibly find, eating all the slop that they can possibly eat, taking in all the slop for music they can do. The dances are like slop. Like pigs, we're like hogs as a people. While we're down with our head down, the world is saying, black people, you are the chosen people of God. We're waiting on you. We will invest in you. This is what Fidel Castro knew about us. This is what Muammar Gaddafi knew about us. And they were not afraid as leaders of countries to say it. And not only say it, they were not afraid to help us. Think about it. And that's why they are the enemy to America because they knew and they spotted who the black man and the black woman was for a long time ago, and they wanted to help us. But America would not help us. For example, go Google it. Go Google Katrina and put in Fidel Castro in Cuba. He tried to send over medics and doctors, and America refused them. Think about it. That is a sign that should open your mind in itself, that they would not allow the Cuban doctors to come over, who are brilliant doctors who work all over the world in disasters. This is what they specialize in. And then America said, no, you can't go help those black people in Katrina. Think about it. They have medicines over there, cures over there, vaccines over there that America will not allow to be used in America. Think about it. All right. He has free medical care for black women, black men in America. If you want to go over there and go to medical school, he has free medical school over there. Many of black people from America have done it. Google it. Go look it on YouTube. Stop being afraid. If Google is over there right now in Cuba, if McDonald's is right now contracting with Cuba, what the hell is black people scared for? All right? What does that tell you? Don't believe the hype. Cuba is an example for us. It's a sign. We can't stop at the sign. We have to, as black people, keep moving. Stop being afraid. Let's build schools for our children. So, I hope I made this message as clear as I possibly can today. Been working all day. Matthew is right there. He'll tell you. I've been driving buses and everything today. This is not a prepared speech. It's in my heart. I live it. All right. I got little children in my arms every day. All right. Got 2 little new children a day. And guess what? When Larry walk up, he pick them up. Hey, if somebody's on Facebook, Matthew's here, they stop crying. And our first day, I picked these children up. And when I picked them up, both of them, they put their little head on my shoulders and they stopped crying. And I said, what you scared about, little brother? What you crying, little sister? What you crying about? You with your people. And these little children are only 2 years old, man. It makes me want to cry, man. These children are only 2 years old, and they understood, and they can feel my heart, and they stopped crying. Am I right or wrong, Matthew? Right. Man, I pick these little children up, and they're crying and won't stop. And the moment they don't want anybody to pick, and I walk up and say, little brother, what's wrong, little brother? What's wrong, man? I understand, brother. I love you, man. I know you're only 2 years old and people don't think you understand exactly what they're saying, but I understand you, little sister. And I picked them up, and both of them, because they was upset that mom had left them. That's how they felt. Why you leaving, mama? You ain't never done this before. Where you going, mom? Because their mother want them in a school. All right. We have children in here that parents are saying, I got a sister to tell me, and you'll be seeing it on our app real soon. A sister tell me, she said, I asked her, I said, sister, how's your son doing now? She said, me and my mother was just talking today about how much growth my son has made. So, you know what I'm saying? I want to thank God for my life. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank God for giving me a life. I want to thank God for sparing my life. And anybody who don't believe I'm supposed to be here, those who are not here, you compare. And those of you who are still here, you compare your life and what you're doing for your community to what I'm doing with my people in my community. And let's weigh our lives for lives. Let's put our lives on the scale. All right. While many of you are still playing dominoes and drinking and watching football games all day long, this brother right here, who you don't approve of, is putting his life on the line every day to teach these little children and go live on Facebook to convince and inspire as many people as I possibly can to say, let's save our children, man. If your child got past you, okay. You're still living. You can still go save another child. And you don't know, when you bless that little child, God will bless your children. All right. Stop thinking you can save your children. We can't save our own children. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I know the laws of mathematics. It takes a village. I can't do it by myself. People quote it, have it in their schools when they work in there, when you walk up in there, but they ain't really trying to build a village. They just want to do it by themselves. Well, I know it takes a village, and I got 5 children in my house by myself with my wife and with my mother-in-law. All right? I just want you to think about it. So I got to build a world for my children to live in. I can't preach the world. All right? I can't just teach the world. All right? We got to build the world, man. And that's what we're going to have to do as a people. We're going to have to make some sacrifices. You can't just make one person out there sacrificing himself. All right? While the one who's swindling you every Sunday, all right, is getting over on our people, man. This is not no hate teaching. All right? This is just saying we're going to have to call these people out. And we don't need to go to them and say, you need to get right. We just need to do right. If we go to them, they ain't going to do nothing but lead us into more dead grounds, more dead pasture. All right? We don't need to go to them and say, you need to change your ways. You know you in that position. No, let's change our ways and make them follow us. Stop going in those house of worship that they beating our people, man. All right? There's only one person right now that we see that's truly challenging this world, that has made friends with black people all over the world and made friends for black people all over the world. And that's the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You can't deny that. All right. I mean, listen, I think my brothers out there are brilliant. I don't want to call no names. I don't have no problem calling names either. Let's make that very clear. All right. I'm just trying to travel in the spirit of my teacher and my leader and my guide. All right. I'm saying, and many of y'all look to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You can claim him as your leader. All right. You could be a Christian and call the minister your leader. All right. You could be a Sunni Muslim and still call the minister your leader. Nation of Islam means nation of peace. All right. Don't get caught up on the rituals and all that stuff, but he has an army too. and I bow to that army and I salute that army. All right. And I recognize that army. So don't talk about the army now either. All right. Just do what you're supposed to be doing, man and sisters. All right. We got to get out there and do it for ourselves. And we could do it right through Facebook. If nobody's doing it in your city that you trust, go research my history. My posts are public. All right. I haven't been perfect. All right. But I'm not afraid of my imperfections. All right. I'm not afraid to be imperfect. Because guess what? Who are you are perfect? All right. And I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say something the other day was so powerful. He said, y'all can't handle perfect. Shoot. If somebody came to black people who was perfect, we couldn't take it. We'll hate them even more. You know he would, because he'll tell us all about everything we doing. And he'll tell us about everything we've been doing. And he'll tell us about everything we still doing. So we can't even handle perfect. Why are we looking for somebody to be perfect? This white man in this wicked white supremacist world has tricked us for looking for somebody perfect like they painted Jesus. You understand? Like he didn't even have a father. Oh, isn't that what they always try to do with black people today? Is separate us from our fathers? Isn't that what they do to the sisters who get any kind of public assistance? You can't even have the father living inside the household. Isn't that what they do? Isn't that how the system is designed, to come at the father? And that's the same thing they did with Jesus, to get everybody okay with a baby being born and not being raised by a father. Think about it. So this is Larry Project Second Chance. I want to thank everybody again for signing on. It's 58 minutes. I got a few minutes and y'all say it's going to be 30 more minutes. I'm going to try my best not to make it 30 more minutes. Eddie Belafonte, thank you. Courtney Wicker, thank you, sister. Natasha Sells Holmes, thank you. Kenyatta Dean Bacon. I hope that, y'all can let me know, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm hoping I'm making this clear. I'm trying my very best to give a universal message as much as possible. But like Malcolm X said, if you throw a rock into a pack of dogs, the one that hollers is the one who got hit. All right? Somebody's got to get called out, man. Somebody's going to have to start answering for the failures of our children. And I'm answering into it. All right? I'm saying I'm failing, but I'm going to do something about it. And we're going to make a difference. And for those of you who are sitting back and hating, you still got time, all right, to get on the right side of history. All right. Just make sure you are dealing with yourself. Some of us just need to come and be a part of organizations and shut up. I'm just telling you like it is. Some of us just need to get in groups and just be quiet. All right. Because we're so wicked and we've been practicing wrong so long. You just need to go and learn from those who are trying to do right. All right. Stop going in organizations that always want to run your mouth. You know, that's what some of us do. We go into organizations and we thought we just go in there and we want to tell everybody how it's supposed to be. I go to some of these meetings and I've been going to some meetings with some powerful people and then invite somebody and this person will try to tell them how to do it. And they don't have no money and they talking to millionaires and they telling the millionaires how to do it. Some of us just need to shut up. And I'm saying, aren't you in this getting mentored by them, but you telling them that we supposed to include everybody. But he's a millionaire and you're not. And he's telling you and teaching you how to do it. Some of us as black people just need to learn how to zip our mouths and go learn, because we've been taught so much wrong that our next thought after being taught something good is wrong. And then we get something good again, we got another wrong thought. Until you let a new teaching, what they say, you can't pour new wine into an old wine skin. You got to have what? A new wine skin to be able to pour the new wine skin. So if you got knowledge that's coming and pouring in you and it ain't helping you, it's because maybe you're not refraining from the foods that you're supposed to refrain. Maybe food is a drug, all right? It can make you feel bad. Food can depress you, all right? But when you are conquering food and food is not conquering you, all right, you start feeling good about yourself. And there's a lot of other things that we do. We watch a lot of negative TV shows. We can't come up out of this state of mind until we truly, all right, remove two things cannot occupy the same space at the same time. That means the same thing in my phone. All right. Once all the 128 gigabytes are gone, all right, no more space is going to occupy in this little thing right here. Unless I get rid of all that, guess what happens? It slows down. And then after a while, it doesn't work anymore. All right. So it's the same thing with your brain. You got to dump all this stuff off. All right. And you got to allow the new to come in. You can't hold on to your old thoughts and then try to use your old thoughts to sift through the new knowledge. It's not going to work. This is for all my people on here, all right, who are just coming into this knowledge. I'm trying to teach you the way somebody taught me, all right, and the way somebody made me learn. All right. Isn't it amazing that there's a process to build a car, but you don't see no process in building a human being? Isn't it amazing that you can see the assembly line to build your little hot curling iron? All right. There's an assembly line for that. All right. But there is no method, you telling me, to build a human being, to build a little child from the time that is born? There's something wrong with this picture and we got to wake up. So, whew. Hit Dog Holler, who said that? Urema Karama, what's up, brother? I see you join on. My brother must be back. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. Peace, my brother. Happy to see that you joined on. Mentioned you earlier, brother. And I'm just asking everybody as we move forward. Listen, you know, somebody told me something the other, but not just the other day. I get it all the time. But brother told me something a few years ago. He said, Larry, you know, people are fickle, and black people, you know how black people are, man. And he was telling the truth. He wasn't saying nothing wrong. He was just telling me. He said, you know, black people support you. Then the moment you say something, man, tell all y'all also, can you please share this post? All right, please share this post. But he said, you know, man, you say something, man, then they don't want to support you no more. We need to stop being like that. We need to stop, you know, this brother from India told me this today. Y'all ready for this? Because some of y'all not ready for this. This is going to put a frown on some of y'all face. He told me something. He said, Larry, yes, we still arrange marriages. He said, it's understood that you love your family first, where I'm from. He said, nobody expects you to love them more than you love your family. Nobody in India expects you to love their children more than you love your own children. That's a principle, all right? He said, but it is a duty, love and duty. He said, you mix love with duty. All right. He said, love. I love my mother. I love my wife. My wife loves her mother. Her mother raised her all those years. All right. And her father raised her all those years. If the mother and the father and I am drowning. All right. Let's just say the mother and if her mother and I am drowning. All right. It is her duty to save her mother first. That is the principle. Because you're never offended. You should, he told me, you should love your family first. You should love. In other words, these are my words. You should love your people first. Then, if you love your family are your closest people. You don't skip your family and then go to, okay, I'm in India and I love the Chinese people more than I love my community. That don't make sense. And I was listening to him as he was teaching me very powerful principles that he was explaining to me that we do not have in our black lives. And that's why our black lives are not mattering. Because they don't matter to ourselves. Now, a lot of people may sign off when I start saying this. What? You trying to say my husband's supposed to save his mother first? I don't like my mother-in-law. Hey, and that's why you don't like your mother-in-law. All right? Because it's problems. All right? It's a dysfunctional family. All right? He wouldn't be with you in their world if you didn't like his mother. I just want you to think about it. And she wouldn't be with you, brother, if you didn't like her father. Think about it, all right? I like that principle. I don't have a problem with that principle because he said family is first. If you don't have family, this is what he told me. If you don't have family, Larry, in his accent, strong accent, if you don't have family, Larry, what do you have? Think about it. I want you to think about it. Listen, if we study history, we now understand why, when as slaves, they did not raise us and let the family grow up inside the slave plantation. They sold the family. They kept splitting them apart because they knew as slave owners, as slave breeders, you don't let the lion pack start ruling, all right, and roaming the same land. You split them up and you divide them because family is number one. And therefore, we're going to have to go back to family, but we're dysfunctional now. And what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to start creating and making families. And we're going to have to start being a family. All the people that are in your family are not your family. We're not the people in India. We're not the people in China. They have not been divided the way we have been divided. So we, as ones who are not necessarily blood of one another directly through direct family, we are blood in each other's thoughts. We are blood in each other's hearts. That's what we're going to have to do across the internet, across the world, because we have been spread apart, and many of us are connecting through the internet, and I'm feeling your spirit and you feeling my spirit, because in all reality we are spirit and we're one of another. We are brothers and we're sisters of the same spirit. Even though we've been divided, where one in your own household can be your damn enemy. I want you to think about it. Don't make that one your friend. Don't bring that one into your program. You don't have to bring your enemy that's living with you on with your goals. You don't have to. There's a separation taking place. It's not just between white people and black people. It's between black people and black people too. It's between white people and white people too. All right? White people going to separate from white people. Black people going to separate from black people. Asian people going to separate from Asian people. In America, Hispanic people are going to separate from Hispanic people. That's the way it's going to be. Don't be so simple-minded thinking it's going to be all black people on this side. No, we're going to have a lot of sellouts that are going to be with Donald Trump's. All right? And we're going to have, Donald Trump going to say the same thing. He's giving the same message right now, probably Facebook Live. To his people, he's probably saying, we're going to have a lot of sellouts. All right? That's going to go with black people. But the thing is, we're going to lead the way. All right? White people, we're going to lead the way. And you're going to have to be okay with that because it's our time now. So, anyways, I hope y'all share this post, all right? This is from your brother Larry Rivera, from his heart. I love each and every one of you, all right? And I know a lot of people don't go not on this Facebook page for the right reason. I don't know what the comments were, made, but I know y'all are commenting amongst each other, and guess what happens? I go back and I read each one. Now, I think the radio show, I didn't have time to go back and read that, all right? Because honestly, my Facebook page is really just like It's not what I was prepared for. All right. And we got a lot of support. We want to go. We've been invited to a farmer's, to something that's taking place down in Georgia with Shava Muhammad. So we're going to be trying to make it down there for December 16th. We'll be going down there with children, and that's going to be a farm, and it's going to be a lot of things taking place down there. So we'll be talking about that. The Katherine G. Johnson, January 6th, we are securing. Right now, we are securing, and I'll announce it through the app. You'll get it on the app the moment we get the paperwork, which may be tomorrow or the next day. We are securing a movie theater. That's it. You see, you can tell I don't go to the movie theater that much. We're securing a movie theater for the release of the Katherine G. Johnson movie called Hidden Figures. All right, and it's going to be an awesome event. It's not going to be where we're going to come and we're going to watch the movie together. All right, those in the community and those who want to come from out of the city for that particular day. It's a Friday, and it's going to be around in between 6:30, 7:30, somewhere there when the movie. And everybody in there is going to come through Project Second Chance. So we're going to have teenagers who are in science classes, and we're going to have all of them in there to go watch this movie Hidden Figures to kick off of what's taking place in Fayetteville, which is, I don't know any other city that has a Katherine G. Johnson Day. All right, that has been declared from the mayor's office. That took place with us about 6 years ago. All right, or maybe 5. It might have been about 5. I don't know. Might be 6 years ago. But the Katherine G. Johnson Day is March 3rd. Here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, that was declared because Project Second Chance can take credit for a lot of the things that we've done with and along this brilliant sister. All right, we were the first. All right, we had the first board to push her name out, and I was chairman of that particular board with Brother Adam Bia, Mayor Chris Ray, Joe Rivera, owner of the Greek Shop NC.com, Mr. and Mrs. Slocum of Alpha Academy, Yolanda Rivera, and there was another brother who was a scientist. I would have to think, we just haven't heard from him. And I'm sure he's probably going to see that movie. When he sees it, he's going to be like, man, I was on that board. And I'll be getting a phone call, I'm sure. So we're going to go ahead and just, move out on that and give the children in this community the opportunity to make sure that they inspired and that they are looking at the movie from the correct perspective. We hope we approve of the movie. So if Miss Catherine approves of it, we approve of it. Put it like that. Crystal Taylor, thank you, sister. Jacqueline Caldwell, I always thank you. Mina, thank you. Kenyatta, thank you, sister. Courtney Wicker, thank you. Jamie, thank you. Sassy Robinson, thank you for joining on. Adria Lucas, thank you. Courtney, Keith Sykes, I see you back on, brother. Matthew Wilson. I just want to thank Maurice Johnson, Dennis Biddle, brother. I missed your phone call, Dennis Biddle. Let's talk tomorrow. I want to apologize, brother. I don't always have this phone on me because I got work to do. And if I kept it on me, I promise you I wouldn't get anything done. And many of you would be saying, what are you doing with that money when we raised $250,000, Larry, for that land? What'd you do with that money, Larry? And I was like, I was on the phone. So I can't be on the phone. I got to be able to move out on what we're doing. Anthony Burton, thank you. Shanae Winburn, listen on our app. Shanae, when I see your name on our app in time, we'll be advertising all those who have black businesses that are supporting Project Second Chance. On our app, we'll be sending out messages and letting everybody know different websites. So Shanae, you just gave me the idea when I saw your name. Any of those of you who have supported Project Second Chance for Tina Malik, anybody that's supported us, Susan Anderson, if you have businesses, please, there'll be a time when I'm going to go Facebook Live and say, please send your information in. We're going to put it on the app and it'll be on rotation. For those of you who are sponsoring and donating things to Project Second Chance, we want to say shop with our own. I mean, it's good to shop. WeBuyBlack.com. I had that beautiful shirt on the other day. We have WeBuyBlack.com, and at the same time, we know we have WeBuyBlack.com. However, guess what we want to do? We want to shop as much as we possibly can with one another. And I saw Jacqueline Caldwell or Kalisha. I think it might have been her sister, Kalisha, who bought something from Shanae. I want to say thank you. That's awesome that we're already. If y'all check on Jacqueline Caldwell, if you could please, sister, Miss Kelly, please put your link to your page on here. You have some nice gifts. If you're going to shop for Christmas, shop with our sister. All right. Shop with our sister. That sister got some nice jewelry. I like it. Support your own. This sister's a major supporter of Project Second Chance. And we'll be coming through our webpage. Our app. So also on your app, if you download the app, make sure you go into your settings and then you go into the Project Second Chance app and turn on your notifications so that your notifications will come to you, that you will not have to just go and look at Project Second Chance and get the notifications. We're going to be letting everybody know when I go live. We're going to be letting everybody know if we have somebody else that may be going live on our page. There's going to be a lot of things that we're going to do, and we're going to let everybody know if we're going to, tell you about the latest thing that we're doing in Project Second Chance. We're going to have fundraisers. We're going to be doing all kind of phenomenal and wonderful things. And guess what? We still have about 15 signed portraits of Miss Katherine G. Johnson that Matthew drew with his finger. You have to go on my page. I have to post it up. I'm going to go back on my Facebook page and I'm going to share that picture that Matthew drew with his finger on his cell phone. And Miss Catherine was so impressed that she signed 28 of them. And I think we have like about 15, of those left that she signed each one of them. All right. And it has it has her signature and her name on it. So, just want to let everybody know that we have about 15 of those. And if you ever see, I'm going to see, I thought I saw Brother Dennis. Let me see if I saw he signed on. Captain Dennis? No, that's Dennis Biddle. Okay. But Russell Simmons has one of them. Dr. Benjamin Chavis has one. Mary Chris Ray has one. Adam K. Bia has one. Alpha Academy has one. I have the number one. Yeah, I have the first. It's one of 28. And I have number one. But Matthew don't even have that one. But anyways, just want to give a shout out to everybody. And let me see. Shay Chance, thank you. Yes, Earth Metal Paper. Is it earthmetalpaper.com? .org, if you could please make that clear. LaDonna Jones, thank you. LaDonna, I enjoy your speech. I am 10 years old. What? LaDonna, are you saying that there's a 10-year-old watching this post and she's telling me that she enjoys this speech? This lecture that I'm giving, or this message? I don't know which one you want to call it. But I say go on Facebook Live because I'm just being live. I make a mistake, I'm live. All right, no editing here. Asaya Abdul Rahim, thank you. Greatly appreciate you, sister. Good, I need the notification alerts. Yes, please download the Project Second Chance. If anybody was on here, right, just if you already got the app, you see that you got a notification, but you got to go in your settings and turn on the turn on the Project Second Chance notification. So you go in your settings, and I don't know how that works for Android, but you go into the Project Second Chance app, and when you go into the Project Second Chance app, you go in and you turn on the notifications, and you can have it to where it comes up on your phone, or you have to, and your phone can still be locked and it can come on, or you have to go in your phone and it comes up. I have it. It's just Project Second Chance. It's not going to be anything that's going to get anybody any trouble or tell anybody their business. So Project Second Chance, it will come, and if it's anything that we're notification alive, or anything that's happening, or great news, or some, disturbing news, we could put it out there. And we're going to also have coming to that app, it's going to be a message to the children, a word of encouragement. So if you say your child's going to school, there's going to be, and they got the app, every morning at a certain time, there's going to be a word of encouragement for everybody. And there'll be a word of encouragement to the youth at the same time. Oh, hold on, LaDonna. I'm okay. LaDonna, you are brother. Okay, I apologize. So you are okay. Got you. And you're 10 years old. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to talk right now. You're 10 years old. I heard. I've been told that as young as 2-year-olds are watching my videos. I was told that today, that a 2-year-old and 4-year-olds are watching my videos. I've heard of another. I guess she's 9 or 10. But LaDonna, are you saying that you're 10 years old and you're a young man? Wow. Can somebody correct that for me? If you saw it come across before I did, I'm scrolling, but I'm not seeing it. Melanin Mitchell, thank you for signing on. Huh?
My son.
My son. Whose son? Okay. We call him Oki. Okay, can you pronounce that? Oki. Okay. I got you. So LaDonna, he's on your page, And he's commenting on your page. I got it. LaDonna's son got you. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I just want to, make sure I got it right, got my mind so I can be in the right spirit. Want to say peace to my brother. If I want to pronounce your name right, if you could please sound it off so I can give you a shout out. I also want to give a shout out to another brother. Later on, let me think on that one. And let me make sure, because I told him I would do it. Let me see. Let me go on my phone. Cause I told him I would give him a shout out. Roberto Marshall. I want to give a shout out to a young man, Roberto Marshall, Miss Marshall's son. Very special brother. Want to give a shout out. He called me today, and just want to give him a shout out. So I told him I'd do that. He don't look like he signed on. He probably won't be, but I said I'd do it, and I'm doing. Miss Margie, my mother-in-law. Anybody know that my mother-in-law went to Mississippi for about a week? Yeah, so we got to hold it down without my mother-in-law at Bright Young Minds Academy. We miss you. All the children, I know they're going to be excited when they see you come back because they miss you, Miss Margie. So, but Maritza Waldrop, you holding it down, sister. Thank you. She's in here cooking for us and holding it down for us. We thank you. We love you for everything you're doing. And we thank you, Miss Margie. Hope you and my daughter Taylor are having a good time in Mississippi. We miss you. Can't wait for you to get back and we can get some of that macaroni and cheese. And Marissa holding it down. You trained her well, Miss Margie. So thank you. Laugh out loud, brother. Your whole face lights up every time you talk about the kids. I mean, I don't even recognize that. But once I figured out that it's a 10-year-old brother, that's an honor, man. That touches my heart to know that a 10-year-old is sitting there listening and being inspired by me because I know that's further in my history, all right? That I know that one day when I'm not here anymore, that I'll be in that young man's heart and his spirit, and he'll be moving off and he'll be carrying off, all right, what I contributed to this individual. So don't be afraid, to put your children on this page. Don't be afraid to have a 5-year-old listen to this post. I have a lot of children that come in to hear and say, Mr. Rivera, we heard you last night. You were teaching, brother. I said, go ahead, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Also, Yurima Karama's song, Zero and Steady Dropping. That is our theme song for our children, for our school-age children. And that is our theme song. They listen to it every day. They love it. So I want to give a shout out to my brother for that song. If you don't have Yurima Karama's Steady Dropping, show this brother that we have influence on this page and go purchase that song or go purchase, that DVD. CD. That thing is hot. The brother, man, he is truly gifted, man. I mean, I'm talking about his message is so powerful. I put him up against the top lyricists out there because he's teaching at the same time. And my children understand it. And the school-age children and after-school program, they understand it. So I want to give a shout-out to him. Shanita Howard, thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. Give you a shout-out. Thank you. I'm glad and grateful that you signed on. Zero and Steady Dropping on Spotify and iTunes. Please, when I say that's a hot sign, I have not met a child yet that I have not shared that song with, that they're like, Mr. Rivera, I want that. Literally, when parents walk in, they're saying, Mom, you have to get me this song. It is a powerful song, and don't take the bass out of it. Let your child hear the bass. Let your child hear that song. That song is off the hook. I listen to it all day, every day. It's the only song I'm listening to right now. All right. And I'm rocking that thing. Yes, I see you. Jacqueline said, Larry Rivera, I tried to run away with that body deodorant, Kalisha, which is her sister. Received in the mail today from Shanae Winburn. She was jumping up and down. As soon as she opened the box, she did a load of clothes with the detergent received. Everything is outstanding. Thank you so much, Shanae. Thank you, young lady. Carver's had not. Yes, got to get together. I'm behind the curve in the duties and the things I have to do, but we got to get together. Call me tomorrow. Let's lock it in, Carvers. Let's lock that in. Call me tomorrow. It's called Zero and Steady Dropping, Kenyatta. I think Shanita put it on there. I want to thank everybody. I'm getting ready to sign off in about 2 or 3 minutes. I kept y'all long enough. If you have not watched this, please, Tamara, Mark, Biz Williams, thank you for signing on, my sister. If you could please share this. And if you didn't watch the whole thing, please start off at the very beginning and watch this video, even if you're in your sleep, let it play, because I need as many people as I possibly can to be in the spirit to make history. Like I said, we're going to have bricks with your name. When we build a school, your name's going to be on it. All right. We're going to have solar panels. We're going to have hallways. We're going to have tiles. All right. Inside the school that's going to have your name or something. We're going to listen. We're doing research right now. We're going to raise this money. We're going to raise this money. If we can get it done in a year, we'll get it done in a year. If we can get it done in a year and a half, we'll get it done in a year and a half. If it takes us 2 years, but guess what? It might only take us 3, 4, 5, 6 months. To get the land, we might get the land in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And when we do, then guess what? Mission to build on the property, and it's owned. So we going for the land, and we went and looked at it today, and we're not playing. We're very serious. All right, Kenyatta, good night. Keith Sykes, thank you. Yes, sir. April Antonio George, thank you, sister. If you could please also, if you can donate to Project Second Chance, I greatly appreciate it. We're on a mission. We're going to have t-shirts. We're going to have hats. We're going to have watches. We're going to have everything. Just be patient with me, please. We're on the move. We're going to grow. So I thank each and every one of you. I thank God for my life. I thank him for putting on my heart this spirit to work for my children and work for your children and work for our children, the way that God is moving me, but not only moving me, the way he's moving everybody that's a part of Project Second Chance and Bright Young Minds Academy. These teachers in here are phenomenal. Our cooks are phenomenal. I'm telling you, man. I mean, our help is phenomenal. Our children. What does it profit man to gain the world but lose his soul? Our children are even more phenomenal. And that's what it is that we recognize our children more than we recognize ourselves. So I want to thank each and every one of you. I love each and every one. I thank God for my life. I thank you, God. I thank God for sparing my life, for allowing me to live to see these times. Peace.